It was the hotly anticipated reboot of an iconic BBC game show fronted by new show hosts Mel Sue and Sue Perkins. But the Generation Game reboot was slammed by viewers as it returned to BBC One on Sunday night. Fans took to social media in their droves to criticize the new presenting duo, saying they will never compare to former host, the late Sir Bruce Forsyth, as well as take a dig at the use of canned laughter in the show's skits. One fan, hankering for the high-octane exploits of Brucie, who presented the show from 1971-1977 and again from 1990-1994 wrote, "Dear Ed, Cone a few notes 1. You can't reboot Generation Game for a new generation, they are too into selfies etc. to understand too. It's not for Sunday nights at all 3. Wasp funny 4. You don't get to replace Brucie ever number Generation Game. Another irate fan wasn't impressed with the re-imaging of the show's old favorites writing, number Generation Game. Not funny, Mel Sue are as stiff as old boots, trying too hard with the old favorites pottery wheel, sausage making etc. Canned laughter. Do I need to say more? Would have been better to leave the show to our childhood memories. One viewer wrote, "Number Generation Game total disaster. Should have left well alone. Nobody could ever replace Brucie, certainly not those two females." Resurrecting old, successful shows never ends well. I certainly won't be watching it. "20 mins was long enough." The show featured guest appearances from Toei stars Gemma Collins and James Arden, Martin Kemp and Johnny Vegas, with the comedian recreating his pottery wheel sketch from the 2005 show. But the celeb appearances didn't go down too well, with one viewer writing, "The delight of the old number Generation Game was seeing the contestants make fools of themselves for a laugh." Not celebs chatting nonsense to fill time. Another viewer wrote, "Started to watch this morning, had to give up after 10 mins, they didn't do well. What a shambles. Poor Bruce would say they didn't do any better than last week number Generation Game." One more fan wrote, "After 5 minutes, I can confirm that number Generation Game has completely lost the warm, comforting fun that made it a family staple on Sunday evenings when Brucie, Larry, and Jim made it a success." And that is down to the presenters. Give it to Bradley Walsh, he may be able to save it. Another added, "Maybe we've had enough of innuendo? I can't help thinking that was the 60s and 70s, and we're long past it number generationgame." But it wasn't all bad news for the show, with some fans praising the fresh humor Mel Sue brought to the show. One wrote, "People are complaining the number Generation Game is a bit naff. Any children of the 70s and 80s know that is the ruddy point. I liked it." "It made me feel very nostalgic. And Sue Perkins and Mel Sue are perfect hosts." Another added, "Loved the number Generation Game last night. Mel and Sue were made for the show." Sick. The late Sir Bruce Forsyth hosted the show between 1971 and 1977, and again between 1990 and 1995. Jim Davidson replaced him and was the host during the 1990s when plate spinning expert Andrew Van Buren introduced teams to spinning plates on rods. Jim criticized the new hosts of the much-loved TV show as being not right for the program, which used to draw audiences of 25 million. He said, "They're not right. They won't know how to ad-lib. They're not there to teach them how to bake a effing cake." "I don't know these women, I've never heard of them, but you need someone that's going to be able to ad-lib and drive the show along."